Our first speaker, Mendes. I'll run with the difference. I'll run with the difference. Mendes.
How many of you are familiar with the Army Run? Wow, much more than the previous time. And in fact, the Army Run is the largest growing fundraiser in the whole country. It raises funds for the ill and injured soldiers, or people that come back from Afghanistan. And I haven't spent many years in the Army, well, the Air Force, really, not the Army, but I was attracted to it. Mr. Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and yes, let me share my experience in the recent Army Run. It happened on Sunday morning, real early. And as those that know the Army always does things with a bang. They had a cannon as a starting pistol. When they shot that cannon, the whole room moved, the whole world moved. In fact, I thought it was an earthquake. And we were shaking around, getting ready, and 18,000 other runners were all shaking, climbing at the bit, ready to go on the start zone. The cannon went boom, everybody took off. Now last year, I ran the Army Run and almost killed myself. This year, I promised I would walk it. Walk the 5 kilometers. That's why they gave me a green tag, so I could get in the back. Anyway, there was so many people at the start zone that I didn't even have to walk. I was carried for at least 100 meters. The crowd was pushing me, and I was like a little kid. You remember when you were young? Dad and Mom would pick you up by the arms and you'd dance around. That's what happened for 100 yards at least, or 100 meters. Then, reality checked in. I had to start walking. Well, I said I'd walk, so I started walking. I walked at a fairly fast pace, however. I had no problems till I hit the 3-kilometer mark. When I got to the 3-kilometer mark, my lungs were burning, my legs were throbbing, and I, like a little kid, decided I'm going to sit on the sideline, put on my jacket, cover my coat, and applaud the guys that were passing. Well, by the time I got my coat out of my jacket, I saw this amputee soldier. He must have read my mind. He must have been a psychologist. Because he was walking with one leg, and he had 2 canes holding him up. He pulled up this cane and looked at me and said, "Soldier, carry on." Telling an Air Force guy, "Soldier, carry on." It was like a lightning struck me all over the place. Legs started moving, I started running, and I said I wasn't going to run. I ran from the 3-kilometer right up to the 4-kilometer. Nothing could stop me. I got to the 4-kilometer mark, and then, now I was done. There was all kinds of people ringing bells, beating balloons, and shouting, "You're almost there! You're looking good!" One guy says, "It's downhill from here." I remember Bob's training as a judge in contests, and some of you are here. You don't whitewash anybody. So I went over to the guy and I said, "What do you mean it's downhill from here?" Snap. He looked at it and says, "Look, 30-degree angle right up to the Parliament buildings, 100 meters. And then you go from there, it's downhill for the next kilometer." Impressive, positive attitude. Again, it energized me. Up the hill I went. Looking at our Parliament buildings, you have to run up. Anyway, I got almost 100 yards, or 100 meters, I should say, 100 meters from the finishing zone. End line, cameras, TV and radio. The big boys were there, snapping pictures. You can see this, you can see the flashes going. And I remember a boss of mine, General Elliott, says, doesn't matter how fast you run. That's not what counts. What counts is what picture is taken of you at the end. Incredible wisdom. So I went up to the sign line. I was standing and smiling and laughing as if I had just crossed the finish line and I did my 5K. Now, if you don't believe me, go on the Army website, look up Harold Mendes, and you'll see. It looks like a guy who has just won the Olympic gold medal. And all I got is a dog tag for it. Ladies and gentlemen, what's my message? Look, I saw determination. I saw positive attitudes by the crowd. I saw self-accomplishment when you succeed. I'm suggesting next year, try as you can. Go and join the Army Run. You will be impressed. You will be determined to see, you will see how your determination improves, how your positive attitude in a crowd that's there. It's reliving, it's energizing. And then you will have that accomplishment. It's the truth. Go on the website. You'll see this guy laughing away as if I could run a 5-kilometer run at 64 years of age. Well, anyway, the message is try it. And as the saying goes, look, if you're not satisfied, completely satisfied with the product, bring it back to me next year. I'll reimburse your registration fee. Mr. Chairman.